Hello, guys. So, we are going to continue our discussion with respect to Python. In our previous video, we have already discussed about variables. In this video, we are going to deep dive into Python data types. So, I have the definition here, but let's go to the outlines that we are going to cover in this video. Introduction to data types, importance of data types in programming, basic data types, integers, floating point numbers, strings, booleans. So these basic data types we are going to cover in this video. Advanced data types are lists, tuples, sets, dictionaries. So these advanced data types we are going to cover in some future videos. Type conversion, practical examples. So few examples of type conversion we saw in our previous video. You can check that out. And then let's come to the data types definition. Data types are a classification of data which tells the compiler or interpreter how the programmer intends to use the data. They determine the type of operations that can be performed on the data, the values that the data can take, and the amount of memory needed to store the data. Now let's come to the importance of data types in programming. Data type ensures that data is stored in an efficient way. They help in performing correct operations on data. Proper use of data types can prevent errors and bugs in the program. So the first example that we are going ahead with respect to data type is integer. We'll just see an example here. So I'm declaring a variable age and I'm assigning a value called 30 here. So variable declaration, we have already discussed many examples and concepts on Python variables. If you have missed out that video, please go through that once and before you proceed with the next videos. So now let's check the data type of this variable age. Okay, it gave an output as int. So this age variable holds the value 30 and Python has assigned the data type of age as integer here. Now let's go ahead and see some examples of floating type. Floating data type. I am creating a variable called height. I'm assigning a value called 5.11. Okay. Now print the height and also print the type of height. Okay, so it gave the output as 5.11, that is the value of the variable height, and then it printed the type of the height that Python dynamically assigned it to it, so which is floating point. Now let's see some string data type examples. String data type. I'm creating a variable called name. I'm assigning the value as Ikshita, and then I'm printing the value here and print the type of name. Okay. So it gave the output as Ikshita and it gave the class as string data type. Okay. I'm not covering operators or operations here because we'll be discussing operators in detail in our next video. So let's see the Boolean data type now. Is true. I'm creating a variable as true. I'm assigning the value as true here. And type, I want to say the type of is true variable. So the output is Boolean here. Okay. I'll show you another way of assigning these Boolean variables. Okay. So suppose Boolean, I'm calling this function. So just give it a thought, think for a second and comment out the output what you think should be for this function. When we call this Boolean function, what should be the output? And check whether your answer is correct or not. So if I execute this, it's giving the output as false. So by default, the value for Boolean function is false. Okay. If I assign is true variable with this Boolean function. Let me just comment this out. Okay. And I just write is true. It should print the value false. Okay. Okay. Let's move ahead with another example. I'm creating a variable called a and I'm assigning the value as 10. I'm creating another variable b and I'm assigning the value as 10. Okay. I want to check the type when I write a double equals to b. Okay, so let's check the data type here. It says Boolean. Okay, so we will be seeing more of these kind of examples as we go ahead. Let's go from basics and we'll build up more and more concepts. End of the day, we will need to work hard and practice a lot. More we work hard, more we become perfect in it. Okay, now let's go ahead and see some common errors with respect to this data types. Okay, so I'm creating a variable called result. I'm assigning a value called hello, and I'm also trying to concat it with 5. So what should be the output for this? Let's run this. So it gave me an error here. It says can only concat string, not int to string. So you cannot concatenate a string with an integer. You will have to typecast the integer to string. Now let's fix this. Result is equal to hello plus I'll typecast the value 5 to string, and then when I do print result, they should give me the output. Okay, hello 5. So the concatenation happened successfully now. So this is the power of typecasting, guys. These are some of the common errors that you may be facing, but we will deep dive into more operations. So let me show you another example. str is equal to hello. I'll show you something interesting here. So if you just type str under dot, you will be able to see many different methods here, like capitalize, case fold, center, count, encode, and all, right? We'll be covering some of these methods once we go ahead with the advanced data types. Right now, since we are discussing the basics, I want you to go a little bit slow with definition, with examples. I'll show you multiple things and make sure that you learn things in a way that it matters a lot to you. So this was it from my side. I hope you like this particular video. I'll see you all in the next video on Python operators.